Alright, gang, welcome back to our Survive 25 challenge here on Zielonka. It's now February, and it's hailing, and it's been hailing all morning. Not really the most ideal situation for us, but we're trying to get a little bit of a later start. The hail should subside here in the next hour or so, hopefully. But today, really, we don't have to do any kind of specific harvesting that would cause any issues with the hail. But we do have to drill, so we might be sliding about a little bit, so hopefully, the hail will stop earlier than 2 o'clock, but we'll have to wait and see, I suppose. Need to fill up the all the greenhouses here. So we're going to do that quickly here, and hope and pray that the water starts to slow down here. Or the water, I say the water. The hail starts to slow down here pretty soon. As you can see, they needed a lot of water here. Okay, looks like that one's full. Interesting. I was not expecting... maybe we were filling both of them up at the same time. That could have been part of it. I don't know. Whoa! Just drill it. There's the way to go. Just destroy the greenhouse while you're at it. Go ahead, buddy. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you had a very Merry Christmas if you haven't watched any of the other series up to this point. Yeah, hopefully you had a good Christmas. We're going to spend time with family, friends, all that good stuff. Did you get anything good? Let me know down below. Me, I didn't get a whole lot of anything specific. I didn't really ask for anything major. I just kind of wanted to enjoy what time I had left with my grandma. And did get a few gift cards, though. Some of you know I'm getting ready to go out to Vegas here in the next couple of weeks for a poker tournament that I'm in. First time I've ever been in a poker tournament in Vegas at all. I play poker around here in a league once a week. It's fun. It's nothing crazy. It's like $30 a week. It's not anything dire, but it's a lot of fun, and they're doing a big tournament out in Vegas, so I'm going out there to play in that, so I'm pretty excited about that. I think it's going to be fun, but did get, like I said, a couple gift cards for my time out there, so that'll help me, save me a few bucks while I'm out there. Alright, looks like these are all as full as they can be right now, and it is still hailing heavily. Now, we have $31,000. We're making a decent amount of money overnight now, which is good. We've got a lot of greenhouses, obviously, so that's helping out a lot with them being on auto-selling. Not quite to where we need to be at. Maybe we'll get there today. We're getting around $800 or $900 an hour, something like that, from the greenhouses, from selling them. Obviously, it depends on the time period, right? Because obviously it fluctuates when things are best to sell. But hopefully, maybe before the end of the episode, we'll have enough to maybe put in another big greenhouse, or that, if not that, at least put down one of our productions for the greenhouse. Really, that's probably what we should be doing, honestly, more than anything. But I guess we'll find out. So I'm going to try to do it the way that they want you to do it here. I'm going to turn on the assist as well. Really don't utilize it that often until recently. I don't think I've used it on this series much at all. But we'll use it here. The steering assist. Okay, so 3 headland passes. That means I need to start somewhere in here, I guess. I don't know. We'll start here and hope for the best, I guess. Actually, what do we want to put in here? What do we want to put in? I don't know. I don't know what we should put in here. Kind of want to put canola in, but canola is a long-growing crop, and I feel like right now maybe we should be doing a faster-growing crop. Excuse me. So I guess we'll go with oat, which I think we might have had in last time, but either way. All right, and we're underway. How's everybody doing? Hopefully you're doing well. I don't know if I asked you that yet or not, but if I didn't, I'll ask it to you. If I did already, I guess I'll ask it to you again. Hopefully you're doing well. This is the expansion of our field, if you recall in the last episode, or if you happen to miss it. We expanded the field, right? So it's a much larger field than what it had been. Which is good. It should hopefully make us a little bit more money. Now, another thing that would be nice to get, and I've talked about this a number of times, so we've got to make a decision here, is to buy another plot of land. That would be nice, I think. Be able to have a few more things going, because while the greenhouses are great, I love doing the greenhouse stuff. It's just, it takes a while, right? You basically, all you're doing is filling them up with water and then just sitting around waiting, and I don't want to just do episodes just to skip time just to get it when we're getting money from them, if at all possible. Moving forward, right? So, but nevertheless, we're moving here. It looks like we're getting some hail damage potentially here. You see that? See those markers? Might have to get the cultivator back out to fix those. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to. I don't think it's going to let me drill anything. Probably should just stop drilling this drilling this all together right now. So I could just be wasting seeds here. Granted, this machine doesn't actually utilize that many seeds, which is kind of nice, but I think I am going to stop it just for a second here. Let's go ahead and park this. I mean, it's not going to be perfect here, but I'm going to kind of park it up here against the edge here. At least protect some of it. Let's get the cultivator back out. So I kind of cleaned everything up here a little bit. Tried to make it look a little bit neater. I moved all the boxes over to the side. Right, we had seed boxes and fertilizer boxes and herbicide, everything else, all just laying around everywhere. So I kind of moved those out of the way. Ooh, there's a little bit of a glitch there, wasn't it? Or a lag or whatever. So I kind of moved those out of the way just to make it look a little bit neater. I'd like to start working towards our little entrance path that I talked about towards the end of the last episode there, right? When we upgraded the the shed there, right? I talked about, making that entrance, that little track, that road, whatever you want to call it, into our area there. Come on, Hale, when are you going to stop? Goodness. It's crazy. We do not care about finances. Where's the... I always forget. Oh, it's up here, the calendar. It says 13. It's 13:55. It should be stopping any time right now, according to that, right? I'm gonna just kill a little bit of that crop that we drilled in there. That's all right. Probably to go over top of it again anyway. Now, I know a couple people, I don't think it was this series, but a couple people mentioned that they think you have to replow the ground when it hails or you get hail damage like this. From what I can tell, at least with this cultivator, it does work. Now, it might leave those little spots on the ground, but it does at least allow things to be planted and they're growing there. So we're going to go with it that it's fine going this way, but I guess you never know, right? Because I know for a fact it has happened to me on another series, and I've utilized this same cultivator, because that's pretty much the best cultivator out there right now for the price, and it's worked. So I'm utilizing the backside here. I don't necessarily know if it's a smart idea. The more I look at this, I don't think it is, because we're going to need turnaround area, but I've been utilizing this back here because it's extra space, so why not utilize it for some things that we're going to sit outside anyway, right? Come on, Hale, this is insane. And the only other thing we can do is we can try to drive around, even though, I'm not really making it a... I'm not making it a habit here, but of trying to drive around and see if we find any apples anywhere, but I doubt it. I doubt we'll find anything. Let's back up here. Let's see if we can realign this a little bit. Hopefully I don't get any more hail damage here. It's got to be over any time now. This is crazy. Right, good. We're on our way. So early on in this series, I really did not, go about it the way that I should have, and I've talked about that a number of times, but it was almost making the series less fun for me, and you probably were hearing that in my voice. I think I'm back, though. I think I'm excited now. We're making some progress. We at least have enough greenhouses now where we make some kind of money. It's not a ton, but it's something, right? And hopefully that will help, be able to continue to have us progress here. And I know some people have been really upset about that. I'm getting dislikes on videos and things like that, I think, because they think it's too easy or whatever, but I mean, I don't see it, man. I don't want to, I have no problem doing it, and I have done it times before, but I don't want to sit there and grind, on the other series, at least. This one, I guess this one we're going to be running until the next Farming Simulator game, so I guess it doesn't really make that big of a difference here, but I don't necessarily want to sit there and, just grind doing the same 3 things over and over again for 35 episodes. I just don't feel like that's that entertaining to all of you as well. Perhaps it is. Perhaps it is too easy. I don't know, but I don't feel like it is. If I ever get to a point where I do feel like it is, guess what? We're going to flip the seasons on. We'll do all kinds of other things that people have been complaining about, that I'm not doing it difficult. I'm not making it difficult enough, but everybody else that I watch, they all are doing a similar type of thing than I am. They all think the same way that I do, that the game is already difficult enough as it is, and to keep everybody entertained, because you can't really please everybody, right? But to keep most people entertained, you really want to have something where you're making some kind of progress for a significant portion. It doesn't need to be I'm putting something new down, or I'm buying a new field, or buying new equipment every single episode, and it certainly is not going to be that every episode. But we at least need to be able to do something. I don't want to just... Well, here's episode 7 in a row of me doing nothing but harvesting, then plowing the exact same field over and over again. Granted, we're probably at that point now. We're probably close to doing that. But we've added some new stuff, right? We've got greenhouses. We've got another new shed, because we had the first shed, open-air shed, that was an absolute disaster. I don't know what was going on with that mod. I don't know if they'll ever get it fixed or not. I went ahead and just uninstalled it altogether, so I didn't try to put it down again on another series. That's the last thing I wanted to do. I like those open air sheds, so it's really disappointing. Man, what is going on with the hail here? It said it was going to be done by 1300. It is now 1426. 1400 says sun, and it's still hailing. That's nuts. So anyway, this field specifically, we're going to continue to drill it. When we're done drilling it, we have got to put down a first application of fertilizer on it. We'll take a peek. I think part of it is going to actually need to have a little bit of herbicide put down on it. Not the whole thing, because we expanded it, right, in the last episode. Excuse me. But a good chunk of it probably will need it. So we'll keep an eye and kind of peek on that. Ooh, this is a little bit more hilly over here than I thought it was. It's a little more treacherous over here. Probably should have did something different there. That's all right. But the expansion of this is probably, I don't know, I would say maybe we added 1/4 extension, maybe a little bit bigger than that, maybe 1/3 extension to the field itself, because we went around a little bit on the outsides here as well. You can kind of see the difference, right? Where part of it is, you know, plowed up or a little bit of cleaner dirt versus where there's clearly something in the ground prior, right? Where it's been cultivated, I guess is what I should say. Now, I'm sure, going back to that conversation about the difficulty, I am sure there's been a lot of other conversations that have already occurred. This series is now once a week, right? And so whenever I do a video on this series, I normally do 2 back-to-back, so I've got a 2-week span between, you know, when I've recorded one episode versus the other, right? And what I mean by that is there's probably conversations that already occurred on another series. I'm sure I brought it up on another series. And so if I have, and we already talked about it, you can just ignore that conversation altogether, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. This conversation may be too delayed, I guess. But either way, just like to, you know, I like to be honest with all of you, regardless if I'm right, wrong, indifferent, whatever it may be. I try to make sure that I'm straight up and honest with you, and make sure that all of you are having enjoyment, right? I don't want you to come to the channel and dislike it, but it goes back to that same statement. You know, I can't please everyone, but I'll do the best I can to try to please most of you. And not only that, while I still want to make sure that I please all of you, I still have to be having fun too, right? So if I'm just grinding away over and over again every day doing the exact same thing, I'm going to be honest with you right now, I can tell you that I will start to get burnt out a little bit, and I don't want to get burnt out on this game, any of the Farming Simulator games. I enjoy Farming Simulator a lot. I know a couple of you have mentioned that you hear it in my voice, you hear the excitement in my voice, and it's because it's true. I'm not making that. I really do enjoy playing this game. It's a lot of fun to me. So I don't want to get in a state where just to make something extremely more difficult, I don't want to be grinding for, I don't know, 3 months just to make a small amount of progress, I guess. Anyway, we're done talking about that. I'm moving on. I'm sorry. Now, we talked about the apples a little bit, right? I found, I think, 2 or maybe 3. I don't remember. We showed one recently, and I don't really know where to look for them at. I'm assuming I just need to be looking when we drive by all these buildings and these houses. I really haven't been doing that a whole lot. I did that, like I said, recently when we found that one together on camera, but I'm not really wanting to go all out of my way to finally, thank goodness, finally. That's insane how long that took for the hail to stop. It's nearly 1,500, and it said it was going to stop at 1,300. Anyway, I'm not really wanting to go out of my way trying to look for them. I think that's a little bit too cheaty. But if we're driving around somewhere, we're going to sell something, or we're just driving and looking around at looking at stuff, whatever, and we happen to pop across one, I'm absolutely going to pick them up every time, gang. It's 5 extra grand. We're going to be running this series for forever. So early on, right now, the extra 5 grand is going to be huge help to us, because that helps us progress, right? Been rambling a lot today, gang. I apologize. Sometimes I just get in those rambling moods, and I guess I'm in one of those today. Still got a long way to go here before we're done with drilling this field. We're making good progress, but we still have all the headlands to do, and still a good chunk here of the original portion of the field that we're kind of now in, right? Well, it would probably be good if I actually put the drill down, wouldn't it? Good job, Z. Way to go, buddy. Now, let's see. This one should be coming out... yeah, it should be coming out the Saturday after Christmas, I think, if I got my days right. I don't know for sure if it'll be out on Christmas Day or not, but I have been working on a Christmas special, literally just for fun. But I want some input and some feedback on that. So if you haven't watched it yet, if it's out, which I think it would be out, it should be. Unless something drastic occurred, I should have it out in time. But for whatever reason, if it's not, then ignore this, I guess. But if it is, and you haven't watched it yet, go check it out, man. I want your feedback. I want your input on it because it's kind of an idea that I have for possibly a future series down the line, or maybe a series to incorporate sprinkled in, you know, maybe once or twice a month kind of thing. But let me know. Go check it out. Let me know. Let me know your thoughts. I'm interested to see how that video does, if it has any interest at all, or if people hate it. I think it's going to be kind of funny, and it'd be quite a crazy challenge, really, if we decide to implement it. But you let me know your thoughts. Shameless plug there on that one, but yeah, it's all right. Sometimes you gotta shameless plug yourself, right? That didn't sound right. Anyway, let's carry on here, gang. I've rambled along for quite a while here. Let's throw a bit of a time lapse. It shouldn't be too long. There's not much left to do. Let's get the field done, and then we will jump into doing the fertilizer. Now, we probably need to think about getting something to spread lime, but the problem with that is, at least at the time of this recording, there is nothing on ModHub for lime spreaders. And what I mean by that is fertilizer spreaders that can do lime. There's nothing out there. We're still having to suffer with that one, which is, well, I say suffer, it's a really good one, but it's very expensive. So we still can't afford it, so we're not worried about it right now. Let's get into this time-lapse, gang. Let's get this done. I'll be back with you shortly.
invincible.
All right, gang, we are nearly done here. A few more passes and we're pretty much done with this field as far as the fertilization goes. I will need to check it to see if it does need any herbicide or not. I would expect portions of it does and other portions do not. But I guess we'll find out here in a second. Oh, hold on, wait, whoa. There's a little section back here, I think, that's... I don't know for sure if it just didn't get hit, or if it's just part of it that I'm... I think part of it didn't get hit, but either way, not a big deal. We'll just hit this section right here, and it's all done. I'm excited to see the yield increase we get from this expansion we did on this field. I'm very excited to see that. All right, let's fold this sucker up. So tell you what, let's see. Needs lime, needs rolling, of course. There is a new roller. A lot of you know, if you've been around for a while at least, that I absolutely despise rolling. I can't explain to you why, but I do not like rolling. There is some weeds in here. They're just kind of sparsely placed about, but we should go ahead and take care of that, so we'll do that right now too. But anyway, I hate rolling. I can't explain it to you. I like the way that it looks after you're done rolling it, but I cannot stand rolling for whatever reason. I'm gonna try to see if we can fill all this in there. Perfect. And then we can unload it. Perfect. But there is a new roller out there. It's still pricey, but it's significantly better than what was out there. So maybe we potentially look at buying a roller here soon as well. If we do, it'd probably be smart for us to look at buying it today, given the fact that we now have a field here. The width is not terrible either on the roller. I think there's actually two rollers. I think another one just recently came out. I could be wrong on that, though. I might have been looking at that wrong. But anyway, I know one for a fact did just come out. At least at the time of this recording, it did. Alright, so really, all this area up in here, we shouldn't need any herbicide on. It should just be the initial field. Now, I'm not really going to know exactly where that initial field started, but I know I can skip most of this up here, so we're going to do that. And I'm just going to start up here and hope for the best. Might waste a little bit, but we're going to waste less than we would if we were up there doing it, where we know for a fact was not the initial field, right? So, we could look and buy in that roller, potentially. Is there anything in the used market for us? A baler, a bale collection, bale loader, whatever you want to call it. Weeders, and then this flat trailer is pretty nice, actually, but for this series, at least at current, we just have the tiny little square bales that we can pick up by hand, even without having, you know, the liftable bales and pallets mod on. We can still pick those up because they're so tiny. So don't really need that one, at least not currently. We don't, and it probably won't be for a while because, yeah, I think it's almost time for us. Really, I think what we should be focusing on here is trying to get I mean, we might have enough to do it now, actually, but trying to get the production for our greenhouses, right? We really want to start making some extra money, and that canned process that we would get from there is going to be key to driving that. Nope. Come on, Z. Get together, buddy. There you go. So we'll look at that again. I mean, I still think it's 36, but I might be wrong. It might be 34. We could probably get there today, honestly, if we just rested for a little bit. We might end up doing that. Rest for a couple more hours. See if we can get that, place it down at least. That way we're starting to actually produce something besides just automatically selling everything. We likely will continue the auto selling of the mushrooms unless there's something specific in there for the mushrooms that makes sense. We'll probably stick with the whole mindset of keeping the mushrooms as our, well, I'm going to say it's our overnight money maker, but it really makes us money throughout the day, right? With the exception of the solid fertilizer spreader that can spread lime, we pretty much have everything we need now, though, as far as equipment goes. Another tractor would be nice. A secondary tractor would be nice. But since we have just one field right now, it's not really necessary. One tractor is honestly plenty. The only reason it would be beneficial is I could, you know, have a worker running some trips to the store or the shop or whatever it may be, right? That would really be the only thing that would be helpful in that instance, I think. This is the last bit here, gang, and we're done. Just did a little bit of extra there for good measure. I'm going to do another real quick pass across here. I don't think it's going to matter, but we're just going to make sure that I hit the extent of what the original field was, and I'm not hitting anything, or I'm not missing anything. I'm okay wasting a tiny bit of herbicide just to make sure that that's that we didn't miss anything, because I want to try to get as good of a yield as I can get out of there. So let's put this away. Actually, I'm going to put it back over here. I've been putting it over here on the other side of the harvester because it can fit there. So it gives us more room. Not that we need the room right now, but eventually we probably will. So just get used to putting it over here. I mean, I can put it pretty close to the harvester here, and it doesn't really cause any issues, and it is fully underneath the cover. So, all right. So let's turn this off for a second. Let's do a quick save here. I just don't want anything crashing on me. Okay. Let's see. The rollers I'm talking about, or the roller I'm talking about, I should say. The rollers, plural. Here it is. So all the other rollers here were outrageous. They are both installed now. Okay. So these are the two rollers you had to start with, which are outrageously priced. We now have a $3,100 one, which is 5.2 meters, and a $15,000, which is 6 meters, which is almost pointless. You might as well just go with this one. If you're going to get one, you go with this one, right? Is that what we should do here? The yield it's going to give us is probably going to bump up the yield a couple percent. Is it worth our time, though? I mean, really, we probably need, lime more than anything, right? Lime is going to give us the bigger yield, but the spreader I'm talking about is 45 grand, so we're nowhere near that. None of the other ones, even this one that I have installed that's a mod, none of them can hold lime. We really need that. So, Josh, if you happen to be watching, make me a lime spreader, man. He's probably not watching, but anyway, Josh over at Game Enjoy, he's a good guy. Go check him out, speaking of that, if you haven't done so. He does a lot of live streams where he's showing off and working on the mods. He makes mods, and not all of them, but a lot of them do come to Mod Hub, so you can thank him for a lot of the things that we, as console players, get. So go give him a follow and watch him if you haven't done so. All right, so 34,000. We got to look at this. It's going to be one of the small ones, unfortunately. It's going to be slow. There's not really a whole lot we can do about that. It's 36. So, yeah, we're not quite there where we need to be at. And I don't even know for sure if even if I do this, I don't even know for sure if I can place it here for 36. It might be more money than that. As a matter of fact, it probably is more money than that. So I think based off of that entire just statement that we just talked about there, I think I've made my mind up. As much as I hate it, we're going to buy this roller. We're going to roll it and try to get ourselves a few extra bones. And by bones, I mean yield percentage, which gives us money. A few extra bones mean money. Off of this field. Because we need all the money we can get right now. So let's drive down here together. I normally just do like a jump cut here. I'll edit it out, or I just stop recording altogether. One of the two. I'm going to stay recording and talking here with you, and let's just see on the way here if we see any kind of apples laying around. If we find an apple, I doubt we will, but if we find one, it could be very beneficial for us, because that would allow us to get to the point where we can put down that production, right? So right now is the time where I probably should spend a few extra minutes looking around. I doubt I'll find any. I'm terrible at finding these things. I'm lucky that I found the couple that I found so far. I mean, the odds are probably low, because I think the one we found was right over there, I think, on camera together. So the odds are probably pretty low that there's going to be another one over here. There's probably one over there by that big tower thing, I would assume, right? What about here? Nope. Because there's a one flower pot that normally that's how one of the other one was. There was an apple there next to the flower pot. There's nothing there, though. Let's just take a quick gander around the backside here. There's some chickens over here. Look at that. I didn't even know those were there. Even the first time I played Zielonka, like in FS25, I didn't even realize those were there. Oh, interesting. Nope, I don't see any apples. Well, there's a bust. Guess we'll keep driving. There probably is an apple, I would think, somewhere in here. Let's just take a peek real quick. Just a fast little speed drive through. We're not going to spend a bunch of time looking, but... Is there something in there? No. No. Okay. Huh. Thought I saw something in there, but I guess I didn't. I mean, I really don't know how difficult they make these you know, when they're hiding them. I mean, probably not as difficult as I'm... they probably don't make them as difficult as what I'm doing right now when I'm looking around at all this stuff. It's probably not this severe, right? Alright, well, I think I'm just wasting our time now. This looks like a bust, too. Huh. Okay. Alright, well, I don't see anything, so let's just keep moving here. It was worth a peek, but there's nothing there. And I don't think we're going to find anything from now to there, because there's no other buildings. Like, if we went over there, we probably would find a one at least, but probably a couple. Right? I was going to say a bunch, but a bunch might not be correct either. There's a ton of apples on this map, so I feel like they're probably scattered all throughout those houses and everything over there, but I don't know. Anyway, pick up the roller. I will see you back at the farm, gang. Alright, we're underway here, gang. I mean, what else is there to say about rollers? I hate them. It's a nice roller, I guess. I like the width. The width is good. Speed is decent. 9 miles per hour is not terrible by any means. It really won't take us too long to do this field, but I don't know what else to say besides that. I don't know what it is, man. I really don't. People have asked me that, and I can't explain it. I love the way it looks when you're done rolling. I think I mentioned that already, but I'll say it one more time quickly. But I can't stand it. There's something about rolling that just drives me up the wall, and I cannot explain it. Well, let's see here. So we're getting, right now we've got a 57% yield bonus. If you look at the rolled, yeah, we're going up 3% here. So it's not a crazy increase, but that is 3 extra %. And given the fact we expanded the field, I feel like that's going to be pretty significant, even if it doesn't seem like it. So, probably worth it. The biggest problem I get with the rolling for me is that a lot of the times I leave that task to the workers because I hate it so much. And a lot of people, at least in FS22, I don't know how it is in FS25, maybe one of you know and can let me know, who are still watching to this point. In FS22, at least, it was almost not worth doing the rolling. I think you would get less than 0.5% if you had the worker do it, of a yield increase. Like, total. So, because you have to pay the workers, right? Obviously. So, if you're not rolling it yourself, at least in FS22, it almost wasn't really even worth doing the rolling. But since we're going to be running this series for such a significant portion of time on the channel, I mean, let's do it the right way, right? Let's roll the whole thing. I'm gonna do one more over here. I think I started a little bit too far in the middle here, so I'm gonna roll this outside edge here. Yeah, I started a little bit too close. That's fine. Up to 32 grand. We did jump to 1,800, so we probably would have had just enough if we waited until then, more than likely to, well, we would have, I guess, to put that down, but it just depends on, you know, if there was any kind of land deformation that had to happen. Now, I could hit the Y, it might sink part of it into the ground, which I don't necessarily dislike, but sometimes, as, you know, as the case with a lot of things, right, it may have got to a point where maybe it didn't really go how you expected it. What I mean by that is, if it put it up in the middle of the air instead of sunken it in the ground, right, instead of sunk the actual building in the ground, it might have had it hanging up in the middle of the air, and I really don't want that. That's even more unrealistic. If it's sunk into the ground, you could at least utilize, you know, the excuse that, well, it started sinking because it's been there for so long in the ground, you know, obviously things like that occur, right? Erosion and things that push into the barn, right? So it makes it look like it's sinking to the ground even if it's not. If that makes any sense, what I'm trying to explain. And maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, I don't know, but I think you get what I'm trying to get at. We're going to drive right through these rocks and just see how this goes. It really does make the ground look much better, though. It really does. It really, really does. We're going to need to do some service to our tractor here soon as well. That'll probably need to happen in the next episode, I would think. Probably grab some gas while we're at it, too. It's getting pretty damaged here, and if I wait too much longer, at least this is what somebody has confirmed, is that it will cost more money if you wait to a period of time when it's really in bad shape and then try to fix it. It's going to cost a lot more than if you were just to constantly repair it as you have, you know, the chance to. I probably should have did it when I went and picked up this roller, but I kind of overlooked that a little bit, so... But anyway, gang, I'm going to carry on here and get the rest of this rolled. I might admittedly put it on a worker for a little bit of a time, but I'm going to continue on here, trying to get this all taken care of and give us that extra 3% bonus yield. And we'll move on. Gonna leave the episode there. Hope you enjoyed. Smash the like button, subscribe button, all that good stuff. It's free. One of the last free things you can do in the world. It helps me out a ton. As always, let me know your thoughts down below. I'm happy to get back to you on those. Regardless if I agree or disagree, it does not matter. I want your input. I want to know what your thoughts are. And, yeah, we'll leave it at that. More videos in the corners for you. I'll see you in the next one.